Okay, so we are recording now. So I just want to go through a couple of things. So then we'll, hopefully you're ready. We can go into a quick game of shoot maybe. So to be able to find a fraction of amount. Now you've been doing adding fractions. So adding fractions together. You've subtracted a fraction from something. You've multiplied fractions together, and you've divided fractions and whole numbers. So all we've got to do is put those skills into context now. Right? Before we look at this, what does the word of mean? Ava?
Multiply.
Multiply. Okay. So for instance, we've seen 2 lots of 3 is equal to 2 times 3, which is 6. Alright? So that word of can be like multiply. Now, what I want to do, there are 2 ways to find a fraction of an amount. Okay. Depending on how you want to think of it. Alright. 2 ways to do it. You've written the top line, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I said to you, find 2/3 of $27, for instance. Two ways to do it. Is there anyone that already knows how to do this, how they work? Okay. Ava, start us off.
So what you would do is you would divide through 27 by 3.
Okay, so we're going to start by doing 27 divided by 3. I'm writing it like that, but we shouldn't really, should we? Okay, which is what?
9.
9. And why have you done that? Are you remembering a skill and not knowing why again? Are you? Why do we divide by 300?
Because when you're since means multiply, it's 2/3, and then the bottom number is 3, and so you want to divide by that, and then you get like 2.
That doesn't really clearly explain it to me. Have a think of it. Okay, well, like we've said lots of times, before you tell us, maybe think it through in your head so you're clear. Yeah? So we understand. Go on.
So 27 can be also 27 over 100, and you can like cross it. No, wait, never mind.
You're chucking in numbers.
Never mind.
B, we don't need to make it complicated. Millie?
Well, if you say it's find 2/3 of 27, so you first want to find 1/3
Okay.
of 27.
So what we've done here, that is finding 1/3 of 27, isn't it? So 1/3 of 27, excuse me, is kind of, if I did a diagram, if that whole thing is worth 27, 1/3 of it, well, it's 9, 9, and 9, isn't it? Okay, so that's how you, so it's like a divide by 3, 1/3. All right, so that's the first step.
The second step is to multiply by the numerator, which is 2, because you have 1/3 and you're trying to get to 2/3.
Yeah, so if 9 is 1/3, okay, if 9 is 1/3, then 2 lots of 1/3, which equals 2/3. So we've got 2 times 9, which equals 18. Okay, so 1/3 is equal to 9, isn't it? So we know that 2/3 of $27 is 2/3 of $27 is $18. All right. Make sense? Or anyone need anything more on that? That's one way, definitely. So you divide. So in basic, just I learn a skill talk, what we can say is divide by the denominator, right? And then multiply by the numerator. Does that make sense? Okay. So remember, the denominator is how much you have to split it by, so that's your division bit, right? So we, just to recap, by doing the 27 divide by 3, that's the number one step there. 27 divide by 3, because the denominator is 3. That tells me what 1/3. So 1/3 of 27 is equal to 9. Okay. I then want 2/3. So 2 lots of 1/3 is 2/3. So I guess what I could put in my diagram is I actually want 2 of those 9s to make 18. Right? So 2/3 of 27. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. The other method, though, is to rewrite this. So we do or. The word of means what?
Multiply.
Multiply. So I could rewrite it just as 2/3 times 27. So if you want, if that's the way you want to do it, we can put an over 1. How do you simplify before you multiply? Is why I tell you to do it. Is there any cross cancellation in there, Maya?
You go to put the 27 over the 3.
Okay, so I can do 27 over 3 and times 2 over 1. So 27 over 3 is? So 9 over,
1.
so we cancel the, sorry, that should be a 1 and that should be a 9. So then I've got 9 over 1 times 2 over 1 is equal to 18 over 1, or just 18. Yeah. Now, just to remind you, you don't need to rewrite it in that order. I could have just done 3 into 27 is 9 and 1. Okay, would have been just as good. Yeah. Alright, so you can, if you think of it as just of, as multiply, you can do it that way. So we don't need to do this whole divide by the denominator, but you've got both ways, if you want. So, if I were to then give you another one, I don't know why I said if, because I am. If I said 5/7 of 3,500. Have a go at it. Have a go at it yourself.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. So the answers are, I'm just going to do it whichever way I'm going to mix it. So 5/7 of 3,500. So I'm going to go for 1/7 of 35 is 5. Okay. So I'm going to go 1/7 of 35 is 5. So 1/7 of 3,500 is 500. Okay. So I need 5 times 1/7, which means I have to do 5 times 500, which equals 2,500.
Mr. Fox.
You can still work, right? So I've done that method with that one. Have you chosen the other method? Great, if you've got the right answer. This one, I'm going to do the other method. So 5/3 times 99. I'm going to put it over 1. I'm going to cross cancel. 3 with 99 is 1 and 11.
No. 33.
Good.
I said.
It's an obvious mistake to make. It's 33.
But you kind of did make it slip. You looked at us, you're like.
Which equals 5 times 30 and 5 times 3, however you want to do it. But the answer is
Kilograms.
kilograms.
Oh, I got that one.
Okay. And this last one, I was hoping you'd go straight to the answer because
Yeah.
4/8 is the same as a half
Oh, I'm so
of
stupid.
400.
just divide.
So we just divide by 2, so we've got
200.
2 0 0 0 0 0. Okay?
Okay.
Why didn't I not?
And then the answer is,
At least I got the answer right.
okay, so again, that's the kind of thing, if you got the right answer but it took you a few minutes, fine, you got the right answer. But you guys ought to be considering, I'm being tested here on whether I understand what I can do to make things easy. Annabelle,
How do you get 200,000?
because how do I find a half of something?
Divided by
So half of 400,000?
Oh.
200,000. Yeah? It's like divided by 2. That's all. Okay? Yeah?
So you know, for the first one, I did get that answer, but what I did instead of like doing, so you went straight to the making it 1/7 of it is 500.
Yeah?
I only like at the end once I had found 5/7 of 35. Then at the end I times by 100 because at the beginning.
Well, that's kind of what I did, wasn't it? Didn't I start with 1/7 of 35 was 5?
Yeah, but I did.
You just then did 5 lots of that and then added the zeros on there.
Yeah, I timed it.
Same idea.
Okay.
However you want to do it with the zeros, multiplying by 10. Okay? Right, we've only got 5.
We can do a 5
So everyone's gonna get